I'm your friendly neighborhood Web-Warrior Fanatic, and Fantasy Flight Games has just dropped two new card reviews for the Daredevil hero, just like what they did for Echo. So it's crazy to see this right here. We're on Instagram and we're going to jump straight into it. But as usual, if you guys appreciate this consistent Marvel Champions coverage, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It's a great way to support my channel for free for all the free content for Marvel Champions. Okay, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it here. So this is like their post. Got the hype music here for the Fear Me expansion, the villains, Matt Murdock, and then two new cards here. Again, so Daredevil's got that 222 stat line. And the first card is Daredevil's Billy Club. We knew that this was coming, we just didn't know in what form. And it is probably in the best form possible. So you guys have probably seen my videos where I talk about how amazing and powerful I think that Daredevil will be. And this makes him even better. And I'm not shocked because, in our live stream where we talked about Daredevil, every single card that we saw for him, I kept on saying, okay, well, he's even stronger than I thought. He's even stronger than I thought. And this is no different here. Okay, so let's look back to the live stream here where I posted a comment here talking about, ooh, how do I, let me zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see this. So this is like the card count that I had for Daredevil. And let's see here. So we know the Billy Club here where we're predicting, there's four cards that we didn't know. The event here, a support here, and then two potential upgrades right here. So we look here for the Billy Club. The number is 14 out of 15. So it looks like it's going to be, this one is going to be Billy Club, and this one's probably going to be something else. We're not sure what this card is here. I'm going to go ahead and just straight up edit this comment right now. So this one is going to be not a Billy Club. Okay, we don't know what that is. And then this is going to be the Billy Club. So let's see, it's called Daredevil's Billy Club. And we can go ahead and edit that right now. And I will put this as a new pin comment for this video. But yeah, we got the Daredevil Billy Club right here. And yeah, okay, it's restricted. It is a one cost weapon upgrade, item and weapon. Daredevil gets +1 attack. Okay, so looking at nothing else, that is insane, okay? So if we look at Daredevil's cards here, he's a 222 stat line, which is already the best stat line as possible. For just one cost, he can already make this 232. 3 attack is incredible, specifically for Daredevil, because he's got his acute tactility. One cost upgrade, attach to enemy or scheme. Whenever you defeat attached enemy or remove the last from attached scheme, you can discard this card to write your identity. So in this sense, Daredevil gets so much incentive to be defeating enemies that giving him +1 attack, a lot of minions have 3 hit points. Daredevil can solo so many enemies. And when he defeats them, he gets a ready on top of that. Yeah, guys, he just got stronger, a lot stronger with the Billy Club. And, I was thinking about, aggression was probably going to be what I thought would be the best to play him in because of the combat training, aggressive conditioning to build out his attacks even further. But, like, he doesn't even have to play an aggression to get to 3 attack now because it's in kit, this Billy Club. And for anything that you need to exhaust weapon upgrades for, well, this is a one-cost weapon upgrade that never has to exhaust to trigger its ability or do anything with the exhaust. So if you want to run stuff like firepower, Daredevil's got it. And he's not a hero that you normally use his guns like that, but he can do if you want. Mean Swing is probably going to be very thematic for Daredevil as well. That's crazy, guys. Like, he's got really good aggression synergies. Every hero, we always want to see a weapon upgrade that does not have to exhaust to use the ability, and Daredevil's got that in a one-cost, super duper cheap weapon upgrade. I can't explain how good that is. If you guys seen my video talking about the best way to play Black Panther, it's synergizing off his weapon upgrades like his Panther Claws because you don't have to exhaust to use a special on the Panther Claws. So you want to use stuff like Firepower with that, and that's just such a fun build. Well, Daredevil's got that type of fun build with the Billy Club here. So I would love to run the Billy Club and then put in like Yarmyorn from aggression. So that's another weapon upgrade that does not have to exhaust usability. You combine that with like firepower, just having so many fun shenanigans, mean squinting as well. Such high damage output from Daredevil, even though he already has all of that. But yeah, synergizing that with all of his senses here, guys. Because whenever you defeat attached enemy, you can trigger this as well. Whenever you attack an enemy, you can trigger the radar sense. So like, there's so many things that he can do with that extra attack stat. It's gonna go it's gonna make a huge difference. Is what I meant to say. It's gonna be like a huge change factor to have 3 attack versus 2 attack for being the one to defeat enemies and get effects off of that. So yeah, this is huge. And I didn't even read the hero action yet, guys. Okay, so the hero action here, return this card to your hand from play and then choose to deal damage to enemy, and Daredevil gets the arrow trait until end of round. So thematic. A lot of people called Daredevil's Billy Clubs, giving him the arrow trait. I think that that's a really good shout out. And you guys got that right. He is gonna get the arrow trait here. You have to return it to your hand. You get the arrow trait. Very thematic to the Billy Club. He's swinging it up and then he's like flying with the Billy Clubs or picking a damage off an enemy. Right? He's throwing it on enemy, returning back to your hand. Very thematic. This gives it the thematic flair, but like this plus will attack makes it insanely powerful. So like you don't have to exhaust for this, you just return straight to your hand. So it's a lot better than Thor's like hammer throw, because for hammer throw you have to exhaust Mjolnir and then return to your hand. For Daredevil here, you just return it to your hand, so you can have the Billy Club already exhausted with something like firepower and just return it to your hand to trigger one of these abilities. One thing to note here with the deal 1 damage to enemy, this is not attack damage because it does not have the attack word. So if Daredevil is stunned, you can still ping that 1 damage. If Daredevil can't attack, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can still do this effect to do a damage right there. It is not any sort of attack ability. And having the arrow trait, I mean, not the craziest effect, but he can get arrow every single round if you pay 1 resource to play this card back down. So similar to like Tony Stark Iron Man from the core set with the ability to gain arrow. So you have any arrow synergies you can build with that, right? He can do dive bomb builds, which is entirely insane. I don't know why they did this, but this card is just too powerful, guys. I think this card is way too good. Yeah, and I can't stress this enough, but I think the +1 attack, obviously that's good for any hero, but it's way better for a hero like Daredevil than it is for most heroes in the game because of this stuff right here. His senses that all trigger off of defeating enemies, right? That makes a huge difference for a 3 attack, right? Some heroes really want the extra attack more than other heroes. Like Hercules is another hero that I would say like really wants that, right? Doctor Strange does not really care if he has 3 attack, right? Spider-Man also doesn't really care if he has 3 attack. Daredevil is a guy that really wants that extra attack, and he's got it in the Billy Clubs, making him even better than what I thought. So yeah, that is crazy and insane to see right there. Also, the art here looks amazing. This art right here is as good as the art from which card is it? The Man Without Fear. I'm really digging this art right here with the Daredevil's Billy Club. I mean, sure, it's like the Billy Club right here, but like Daredevil looks really cool in that pose too. So yeah, okay, that's enough glazing this first card here. I mean, this is already huge and like more than enough. But okay, let's look at the other card here. Okay, we have Raising Hell. So this is the 8 out of 15. It's going to be an event right here. So going back to my predictions right here, I was incorrect here. It's not going to be the 8 out of 15 card, but it is an event. But it's not going to be a change form type of card like I was hoping for, because I wanted to have more alter ego type of stuff going on. But it is going to be another attack event. So let's change it here. Raising Hell. So now we know every card in Daredevil's kit except for a potential support right here, which I'm predicting will still be Karen Page, and then a potential upgrade or support for 13 out of 15, because we know that Fantasy Flight Games lists all the cards in order of like what type they are. So all supports are right here, and all the upgrades are right here. So this one's in between support and upgrade, so it could either be a support or upgrade, but we know for sure that this one is going to be a support in between 2 other supports here. So I will put this as a pinned comment at the for the description of this video, and also as a pinned comment of this video. I don't know what I'm saying right there, but yeah, okay. Let's look at this other card here, Raising Hell. 2-cost event. It's a hero action attack, so it is another attack event here. Deals 2 damage to each enemy for each upgrade attached to the enemy. 3 damage instead if Daredevil has the arrow trait. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Okay, with just the name Raising Hell, that's like a fun name for Daredevil. But I think that this is super thematic with the art of the card, with the Billy Clubs. And yeah, okay, let's read the flavor text here first. I cannot see the light, so I will be the light. I am Daredevil. I am not afraid. Very cool. Okay, so what is this card? So let's look at this kit here again. He only had 2 attack events right here from what we've seen, cross-examinations. So now he's got the 3rd attack event right here with Raising Hell. So pretty solid to have 3 attack events in the kit. He's got these 4 Thor events right here. This is his most expensive attack event though, right? The other ones that we've seen, the cross-examination, it's a 1-cost attack event to just do 3 damage to like a single enemy. And then for each upgrade on the enemy, you can do additional damage, right? So this can definitely scale with your senses as Daredevil, because those are all upgrades. Raising Hell, though, it's pretty different. It is an AoE area effect attack event. Deals 2 damage to each enemy for each upgrade attached to that enemy. So the floor on this card is a lot worse than the cross examination because this is 1 for 3. This is potentially, if you play this, 2 cost attack event, you have no upgrades to any enemies, it does nothing, right? It cannot do any damage without your sense upgrades. You have to be sensing everybody. But if you have at least 1 sense upgrade attached to enemy, it will just do, 2 damage to that enemy because there's an upgrade on the enemy and it's a 2 cost attack event. So, not the craziest thing in the world. But the scaling, even though the floor is very, very low because it doesn't do any damage without the upgrades, for cross-examination, it has a higher floor. The ceiling is much better because cross-examination, you do 1 additional damage for each upgrade. For this one, you do 2 damage for each upgrade. So the more upgrades that you have, you multiply by 2 instead of multiplying, by 1 for that, and you add that onto the damage. So a lot more damage potentially. So let's look at this card if you're doing like 1 enemy, right? From just Daredevil's kit. Right, obviously, you can have upgrades attached to enemy from like aspect cards, but we're talking about just Daredevil's kit. You can attach this, and this to an enemy. So that's 4 upgrades right there that you can attach to enemy. So 4 times 2 here with Raising Hell, that's going to be 8 total damage. So you can do, 2 costs for 8 damage. That is very good. That's efficient, but it's nice that it is efficient there because normally we want 3 for 8, but obviously you need to have all these senses in play attached to the same enemy. So like it's kind of like a caveat to get that efficiency. It might be difficult sometimes to get it exactly that type of way, but you can definitely reach it. So not a bad card to get it that way. If you're only doing like 2 for 2, it's a pretty bad card. If you're doing like 2 for 4, it gets a little bit better. But yeah, you probably want to be doing at least 2 for 6 to get like high efficiency. So I would say having at least 3 upgrades attached on the table. But 2 or 4 is not the worst thing if you have like 2 minions that you want to take out or something like that. So yeah, definitely, not a crazy thing. But if you have the arrow trait, which we know Daredevil can gain it if he returns the Billy Club to his hand, well, now it's potentially, for those 4 upgrades, you multiply by 3, 12 damage for 2 costs. Wow, guys. Wow. Yeah, we're talking about how like Daredevil was doing a lot of like small hits like constantly, and he might take a lot of retaliate. Well, if you could do 2 for 12 damage, no retaliate, you don't have to worry about that, right? So yeah, this is a great like way to really balance out his kit and make his kit like even better. And if this was like the only card, like the only attack event in his kit, I don't think it would be that good. But I think it's a great way to round out Daredevil's kit specifically, right? This card is great for Daredevil for what we've seen from his kit. Helps him deal with minions too. Or let's talk about the minion stuff, right? So we just been talking about how it works for like if you're hitting 1 enemy. Well, I think for minions is insanely thematic here. I'm really liking how this card looks for minions. So now jumping back to these sense upgrades, the 4 sense upgrades right here that can be attached to enemies. If they're all on different enemies, if you're playing this Raising Hell, attack event, you can do 2 damage to each one of those 4 enemies, doing 8 damage there and, hitting a lot of them at once. And I think that is so cool because now you really feel like Daredevil, right? He has the senses attached to enemies, right? One of the enemies, he has a radar sense going on. One of them, the acute tactility, he can feel them here. One of them, he has this like type of like olfaction type of thing going on. This one he's listening to, right? So he hears, it really feels like you have control of the table, right? In terms of theme. And he's sensing all of them, and he's hitting all of them for 2 with the Raising Hell. Now, that's pretty good. I would say to have at least 2 upgrades on 2 different enemies would make this a lot better. Or make this playable, I guess, right? You don't want it on just 1 enemy, then it's kind of like, not very efficient. But if you return the Billy Clubs that we just saw to your hand, you gain the aerial trait. Well, now you can do 3 damage instead of 2 for each one of the enemies. So now it's 2 costs to potentially do, to 4 different enemies, 3, 3, 3, 3, which is insanely powerful. And that's where I think the theme really clicks with the card because you got the Billy Club going on here, right? You're flying up, you have aerial, you're just swinging around, kicking, punching, using Billy Clubs, whacking these enemies all around you. That is so cool. So I really like the flair of this card. I kind of wish we got 1 more copy of it, but I could see why there's only 1 copy in the kit. It just helps kind of round out, giving him that area effect, that minion control that he doesn't already have in kit. But why I think that's so crazy is because I don't even think he needs like in kit minion control that can be kind of like the aspect cards dealing with that. But he has it here if you need it, right? If you draw this card and you're like swarming minions, Daredevil can definitely like wipe them out. I definitely want to play like a type of like bring it build with Daredevil to like draw in minions and have him just wipe them out, because he gets so many benefits to defeating enemies that we talked about with all these senses up over here, right? So I think that's going to be, let me minimize that a little bit for you guys to see. So yeah, I mean, he gets so many benefits for that. And with the radar sense here, this is after you attack attached enemy. Well, that will work with the Raising Hell because it is an attack event. So if you play this, you are able to trigger this as well on any one of those minions or the villain if you attach the upgrades too. So yeah, Daredevil, I mean, if he wasn't already S tier or potentially the strongest here in the game, this is like even a higher case for him being that powerful, guys. These two cards right here are entirely insane for Daredevil. It is crazy to see. Like I don't know. And I mean, this is the way that I value this card right here is just in kit if you're not putting in any additional aspect cards, right? But if you're playing him in aggression particularly, with so many upgrades that can attach on enemies, I mean, man, this gets even better. This goes super duper crazy because a lot of upgrades can only attach on minions, especially the aggression ones. So like this really like helps make those upgrades even better. You can easily just wipe the minions out. Obviously, it's only one copy of the card in the kit, but like stuff like suppressing fire, any of those aggression upgrades. I mean, that could be a lot of fun with Daredevil with the Raising Hell here. So yeah, this is just a short video here posted by Fantasy Flight Games. We'll continue right here. And they reviewed two crazy cards for the rest of the video, and it basically just ends like that. So yeah, he didn't need this. He did not need this, but it's definitely making him way more hype. And yeah, those are my thoughts on his two cards, guys. I think that it's it's fine that he has one copy of this, but it just rounds out his kit with the damage, right? Because normally most heroes have at least 3 attack events. He only had 2 from what we've seen so far. Now he's got the third one here, so we know he's got the 3 attack events. He's got the 4 Thor events, but he's got so much on-demand damage and thwarting and just readies with his senses here already. Yeah, I'm not sure what the last 2 cards will be. I'm pretty sure this is definitely going to be the Karen Page support, and we're not sure if this card right here is going to be a support or upgrade. So let's just go ahead and put support or upgrade right there for you guys. And yeah, I'll have this as a new pin comment for this video. But yeah, let me know, guys, down in the comments, what do you think about these 2 cards, the Billy Club and the Raising Hell here? Are they super bonkers? If you did not think Daredevil was S tier before, is he S tier now? And if you already thought he was S tier before, what do you think about seeing even crazier cards add to his kit that only make him stronger? And yeah, also let me know down in the comments, what do you think these last 2 cards that are not reviewed for Daredevil, what do you think they'll be? Do you guys think that, it's going to be a Karen kit page right here? And what do you think that this card right here will be a support or upgrade? I'm kind of feeling like maybe it could be like his helmet or like the armor, right? Some sort of upgrade like that for this last card. I think that might be more fun than like another support because we already got, probably 3 supports right there. So yeah, that's kind of my speculation here on this last type of card for Daredevil. But yeah, guys, all right, that's gonna be it for just this quick video here talking about the 2 new Daredevil cards. I hope you guys all liked this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.